They kicked me out of the family group chat. Then later, they wondered why all their flights were suddenly canceled. The notification popped up while I was reviewing flight manifests at JFK. You have been removed from Fleming Family Chat by admin Derek Fleming. No warning. No explanation. Just a quiet digital exile from the family I had been part of for 12 years. I looked down at my phone, then back at my computer screen showing my Delta employee portal. Senior Operations Manager. Level 7. A position that came with booking privileges most people didn't even know existed. The same privileges I had used for more than a decade to arrange my family's travel. Another notification appeared. Derek Fleming added you to important family info. For a second, I thought maybe they had realized their mistake. But when I opened the chat, I saw the participant list before being removed again. Everyone was there except me. My husband Tom, his parents, all 3 of his siblings, their spouses, even my brother-in-law's girlfriend of 6 months. Everyone but me. The last message in the chat read, "Family only in this chat. We're discussing Mom and Dad's 50th anniversary trip to Hawaii. No need to involve outsiders." Outsiders. After 12 years of marriage, 2 kids, and endless family gatherings, I was an outsider. Tom texted me privately. "Honey, Derek's just being dramatic about the divorce stuff. You know how he is." I did know. Derek, my brother-in-law, was going through a divorce and had decided that anyone who still spoke to his ex-wife was choosing sides. My mistake? Answering the phone when she called about their daughter's birthday party. "It's fine," I texted Tom, even though my hands were shaking. It wasn't fine, but they would figure that out in about 6 weeks. I opened the family travel spreadsheet I had maintained for years. Every flight, every upgrade, every companion pass, every buddy pass, all carefully tracked. The Hawaii trip was right there. 15 tickets scheduled for the second week of March. First-class upgrades already waitlisted under my employee priority. Hotel booked with employee rates through our airline partnership. Even the inter-island flights arranged using my reciprocal benefits. Total savings for the family, roughly $35,000. I quietly archived the spreadsheet and closed it. "Marina, you okay?" My colleague James looked over from the next desk. "You're doing that scary quiet thing." "I'm fine," I said. "Just family drama. The in-laws again." He shook his head. "I swear you do too much for those people." If only he knew. For the next 3 weeks, I occasionally checked the new family chat from Tom's phone when he wasn't looking. They were planning everything. Restaurants, excursions, matching t-shirts. Derek had appointed himself the trip coordinator. "I got us a great deal on flights," he bragged in the chat. $400 round trip. My travel agent friend hooked us up. I nearly choked on my coffee. Those were my employee buddy passes he was bragging about. The ones I had arranged. And now he was taking credit for them. "Don't forget the hotel discount," my mother-in-law Sheila added. "My coworker's daughter works for Marriott and got us 20% off. That was actually my employee rate through Delta's partnership program. 60% off. But sure, let's pretend." Tom looked at me nervously one evening. "You're still handling the actual bookings, right? I know Derek's being a jerk, but..." "Am I family, Tom?" I asked. "Of course you are." "Then why am I not in the family chat?" "That's just Derek being." "It's your parents' anniversary," I interrupted. "Are they okay with me being excluded from the planning?" Tom didn't answer. His silence said everything. "I'll handle what I already committed to," I said calmly. "The buddy passes are already in the system." They weren't. Buddy passes have to be activated by the employee. And I hadn't activated a single one. 2 weeks before the trip, the messages started arriving. From my mother-in-law. "Hi, sweetheart. Quick question about the flights. Do we need to do anything special when checking in?" I didn't respond. Then Tom's sister, Karen, texted. "Hey, the hotel asked for an employee ID number for the discount rate. Can you send it?" Silence. Even Derek's wife, Michelle, messaged me. "Can you check if we can upgrade to first class? Derek said you might have connections." Still nothing. Finally, Tom confronted me. "You're getting those texts, right? About the trip?" "What trip?" I asked calmly. "The Hawaii trip, Marina." "Come on. Don't be petty. I'm not being petty, I replied. I'm respecting the family's wishes. Derek made it clear I'm not family. I assumed that meant they didn't want my help with family matters. You know that's not what anyone meant. Then they should have thought about that before removing me from the family chat. I showed him the screenshot I had saved. Family only. Very clear. The panic began 5 days before departure. In Delta's system, buddy passes appear as pending until the employee activates them. The family had been checking their reservations online, seeing the confirmation numbers, assuming everything was fine. Then Derek tried to change his seat. What do you mean the reservation isn't ticketed? I heard him yelling through Tom's phone. I have a confirmation number. Tom slowly turned toward me. Marina, the flights. I looked at him calmly. They're not ticketed. They're not actually booked. Tom stared at me. What do you mean they're not booked? I have no idea, I said calmly. I'm not in the family chat, remember? I assumed Derek's travel agent friend handled everything. The one who got him that great deal. Marina, please, Tom said quietly. My parents. Your parents? I interrupted. The same parents who haven't said a single word about me being excluded from planning their anniversary celebration? This is serious. We leave in 5 days. Then you should probably talk to Derek's travel agent. Meanwhile, the family group chat, the one I wasn't allowed in, completely exploded. Tom had left his phone on the counter, and I watched the messages roll in. Derek, the airline says we have pending employee passes that were never activated. What does that mean? Sheila, Marina handles our flights. Someone ask her. Derek, I thought my friend booked these through his agency. Karen, no, you said you were handling it. Marina already set up employee passes. Derek, well, I can't activate employee passes. I don't work for Delta. Michelle, then call Marina. Derek, no. She chose Diane's side in the divorce. She's not family anymore. Then Tom's mother replied. Sheila, Derek Fleming, you removed her from our family chat. Watching the realization spread through the group was almost beautiful, like dominoes falling. One by one, they began to understand. Those $400 discount flights. They were buddy passes. Buddy passes that required a Delta employee to activate them. Their hotel reservation? Linked to an employee ID. Their perfectly planned, deeply discounted vacation? Entirely dependent on the outsider they had kicked out. Tom's phone rang. His mother. He looked at me. Mom wants to talk to you. I took the phone. Hello, Sheila. Sweetheart, she said carefully. There seems to be some confusion about the flights. Oh, I said lightly. I thought Derek's travel agent was handling everything. I didn't want to overstep, not being family and all. Silence. Then she sighed. You know your family. Do I? I asked quietly. Because family members are usually included in family planning. I must have misunderstood when I was removed from the group chat. That was Derek being foolish. That was Derek being Derek, I said. And everyone else being perfectly fine with it, including you and Bill. Another long silence. Finally, she asked, Can you fix the flights? Can I? I said, Yes. Will I? That depends. On what? On whether I'm family or an outsider. I continued before she could interrupt. I use my employee benefits for family. I spend hours arranging travel for family. But I don't do those things for people who exclude me when it's convenient and only remember I exist when they need something. Tom was waving his hands at me, silently begging me to stop. I ignored him. Marina, please, Sheila said softly. We leave in 5 days. And I was supposed to be included in planning my in-laws' anniversary trip, I replied. Both of us sat there in silence. Then I hung up. The next 4 days were chaos. Flights to Hawaii were filling quickly for spring break. Without employee passes, tickets were now $1,200 to $1,800 per person. The hotel informed them the employee rate was invalid. The new price? $1,500 per night instead of $200. The family chat I wasn't in turned into a full-blown battlefield. Tom showed me screenshots. Bill, father-in-law, this is what happens when you let petty grudges get in the way of family. Derek, I'm not apologizing to someone who betrayed me. Karen, you betrayed all of us when you removed her without asking. Michelle, maybe if we all apologize. Sheila, the trip is ruined. 50 years of marriage, and we can't celebrate properly because my children can't act like adults. Tom begged me that night. Please, Marina. My mom is crying. It's their 50th anniversary. And they let me be excluded from planning it. I replied calmly. Your brother decided I wasn't family. Everyone went along with it. Now they're facing the consequences. So, you're really going to ruin their anniversary over a group chat? I'm not ruining anything, I said. I'm just not fixing what they broke. There's a difference. That's vindictive, he said. No, I replied. Vindictive would be canceling their reservations. I'm simply choosing not to use my employee benefits for people who don't consider me family. That's called boundaries. On the third day before departure, Derek finally cracked. Not because he felt guilty, but because his kids were crying about missing Hawaii. That afternoon, he showed up at our house. I'm sorry, he said stiffly through clenched teeth. For what? I asked. For removing you from the chat. And for calling you an outsider, Derek added awkwardly. He looked at me confused. What else? Figure it out, Derek, I said calmly. And until you do, enjoy explaining to your kids why their Hawaii trip got canceled, because Uncle Derek decided being petty was more important than family. He left our house furious. But the real breaking point came later that night. My brother-in-law Miguel, the only other-in-law who had always been kind to me, sent me a private message. Marina, I understand why you're upset. They treated you badly. But my kids don't understand why they can't go to Hawaii with their cousins anymore. Is there anything I can do? I liked Miguel. He had been the only one who texted me after I was kicked out of the chat to say it wasn't right. So I answered honestly. Book your own tickets today. Take your family and go without them. He replied a minute later. That might start World War III. Or I wrote back, it might teach them that actions have consequences. Your choice. Miguel chose consequences. He booked 4 tickets on Southwest, found a decent hotel, and then calmly announced in the family chat that his family was still going to Hawaii since the group trip seemed to be canceled. The explosion was nuclear. Sheila immediately called Tom, screaming, How can Marina help Miguel but not us? That's not fair. That's favoritism. It was favoritism. That's exactly what happens when you treat people differently. For once, Tom didn't stay quiet. Miguel never agreed with kicking Marina out, he told his mother firmly. The rest of you just went along with Derek. So, yeah, she helped the one person who stood up for her. I was proud of him for that. 2 days before the trip that wasn't happening, I got another notification. Derek Fleming added you to Fleming Family Chat. The first message appeared immediately. Derek, Marina is family. I was wrong. I'm sorry for letting my divorce drama affect everyone. Can we please fix this? Then the others followed. Sheila, we're sorry too. You've always been family. Bill, what Derek did was wrong. We should have stopped it. Karen, I'm sorry I didn't speak up. Michelle, we were cowards. I'm sorry. I stared at the messages for an hour. Then I finally replied. I appreciate the apologies. But you had 3 weeks to make this right. You only care now because you need something. That's not family. That's transactional. Miguel and his family have a wonderful trip planned. I suggest the rest of you treat this as a learning experience for next time. Then I added one more message. P.S. Derek, my choosing sides in your divorce was answering the phone when the mother of your child called about their daughter's birthday. If that threatens you, the problem isn't me. Then I left the chat. Miguel's family had an amazing trip. He sent me photos of the kids on the beach, hiking Diamond Head, and enjoying a luau. I even managed to get them a partial employee rate at a partner hotel after making a quick call. The rest of the family stayed home, arguing about whose fault everything was. Tom showed me the messages. Derek blaming me. Karen blaming Derek. Sheila blaming everyone. Bill telling them all to grow up. After that, Tom and I had some serious conversations about boundaries and family dynamics. He admitted he should have stood up for me immediately instead of trying to keep the peace. Even Derek's ex-wife, Diane called to thank me. Apparently word had gotten back to her about what happened. It was actually helping her custody case. He keeps claiming I'm the one alienating him from his family, she told me. But now everyone can see who really pushes people away. The next family gathering was awkward. Easter dinner at Sheila and Bill's house. I still brought my famous sweet potato casserole, the one they always asked for. Derek barely looked at me. Karen talked too much, clearly overcompensating. Miguel gave me a quiet fist bump when no one else was watching. During dessert, Sheila cleared her throat. We've decided to try again for Hawaii for our 51st anniversary. Then she looked at me. Marina, would you help us plan it properly this time? I thought for a moment before answering. I'll help coordinate, I said carefully. But everyone books and pays for their own tickets. I'll share employee discount codes where possible, but I'm not managing anyone's travel. That's fair, Bill said quickly. And one more thing, I added. The planning happens in a group chat that includes everyone. No secret chats. No exclusions. The first time someone creates a family-only chat that leaves out a spouse, I'm out. They all agreed. 8 months later, the trip finally happened. Everyone paid for their own buddy passes, still discounted, but nowhere near the free rides they used to enjoy. Miguel and I coordinated together, and everything ran smoothly. Even Derek apologized again, properly this time. His divorce had finalized, and he seemed calmer. I was so angry about losing my family that I tried to break everyone else's, he admitted. Just remember that next time you decide who is and isn't family, I told him. The family group chat still exists, and I'm still in it. But now everyone understands something important. Family only means everyone who is part of the family, by blood, by marriage, or by choice. And they definitely learned one very expensive lesson. If you exclude the person who manages your travel benefits, your vacation might never leave the ground. As for me, I still use my employee perks for family, real family, the kind who don't need a canceled vacation to remember that I belong. Though I'll admit, watching them learn that lesson the hard way was a little satisfying. Sometimes the best lessons happen at 30,000 feet, or in this case, from never leaving the ground at all.